I've got some bad news. Chances are your best idea isn't as unique as you think. But don't panic. Just look at Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, or Uber versus Lyft, or Android versus iOS. These companies thrived in crowded markets by doing things differently. Surviving in a crowded market is tough, but it's not impossible. Today, I'm going to share the exact framework that can help you boost your market share by up to 35% in just 6 months. Stick around to the end and I'll give you free access to my free Competitive Edge Blueprint, which will guide you step by step through this proven system. In my career, I've launched businesses in some of the most competitive sectors imaginable. Deep ocean stuff. From entertainment, aviation to artificial intelligence. The most valuable lesson I've learned, the riches are in the niches. Listen, it's not easy going for the areas of the landscape populated by big fish, but that's not to say it's not worth doing. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover 2 market-tested strategies. First, how to identify your unique only factor that makes you the only logical choice for a specific segment. And second, how to amplify that difference through strategic positioning that makes competitors irrelevant. This isn't about competing, it's about creating your own category where you're the obvious leader. Let's begin with the first critical strategy, identifying your unique only factor. When I was building Flix Premier, we entered a streaming market dominated by giants like Netflix, Amazon, and Disney+. Rather overwhelming, much like trying to be noticed at the London Tube station during rush hour. We knew we would get absolutely nowhere with traditional differentiation tactics, so we took a different approach. Instead of trying to be marginally better than everyone else, we identified a specific problem that no one was properly addressing for a particular segment. We discovered that serious film enthusiasts and independent filmmakers needed a dedicated platform that celebrated quality independent cinema, not just as an afterthought, but as a core offering. While our competitors were busy acquiring blockbusters and producing mainstream content, we became the only solution focused exclusively on curating exceptional independent films. Within a matter of months, we'd convinced independent filmmakers to share their passion projects, their award-winning movies on our platform. And equally, we were able to target customers that really enjoyed this form of motion picture. The key question isn't how are we better, but rather what can we be the only one of? Your only factor becomes your market magnet. What unique problem could your business solve that others are overlooking? What specific customer frustration could you eliminate entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments and I'll offer some perspective on potential only factors for your situation. If you're finding value so far, hit the like button. It helps entrepreneurs like yourself discover these strategies. A candidate from my entrepreneur seminar program mentioned her accounting firm was struggling to stand out. I suggested focusing exclusively on creative professionals who hate traditional accounting workflows. She's now the go-to accountant for design agencies in New York and has a huge waiting list. These focused pivots can transform your entire business trajectory. Now, for my second powerful strategy, strategic positioning through contrast. Once you've identified your only factor, you need to amplify it through strategic positioning that creates maximum contrast with alternatives. While launching Flix Premier in a saturated streaming market, we didn't just quietly offer independent films, we loudly positioned ourselves as the anti-mainstream choice. If competitors were focused on algorithms, we emphasized human curation. If they were global and generalized, we were thoughtful and specialized. If they were quantity driven, we were quality focused. We create a contrast document highlighting streaming industry norms that film enthusiasts secretly hated. Then we built our entire experience to be the deliberate opposite. Our marketing didn't just promote our benefits, it actually highlighted the painful status quo we're challenging. This direct contrast made our differentiation immediately obvious. Customers didn't need to analyze subtle differences. The gap was unmistakable. The psychology here is powerful. Humans make decisions through contrast, not isolated evaluation. Make the contrast stark enough, the choice becomes obvious. But be sensible. Just because your competitor starts offering coffee doesn't mean you should start handing out free coffee machines. Have you tried positioning your business in direct contrast to industry norms? What conventional wisdom in your industry might be ready for challenging? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Now let's bring these strategies together into a practical framework. Start by conducting deep customer research focused not on general needs, but on specific frustrations. Look for problems that are significant, but unaddressed because they affect a subset of the market rather than the broad part that everyone's focused on. Next, evaluate which of these problems align with your unique unique capabilities and passion. Your only factor needs to be both valuable to customers and authentic to your strengths. Then craft your positioning to maximize the contrast between your solution and the conventional alternatives. Be bold in highlighting the gap. Subtle differences get lost in crowded markets. Finally, resist the temptation to dilute your focus as you grow. The natural tendency is to expand your target market and add features to appeal to more people. This is precisely how differentiation dies and commoditization begins. I learned this lesson at considerable cost. With my first venture, we started with a laser focus on solving a specific problem for a particular customer. As we grew, we gradually broadened our offering to capture more market share. Within 18 months, we looked remarkably similar to our competitors, and it affected our growth. We overcame it, but the market teaches this lesson repeatedly. Specificity scales, generality doesn't. This approach requires courage. It means saying no to potential customers who don't fit your focus. It means watching competitors grab market share in segments you deliberately abandoned. It means making some people actively dislike your approach so others can absolutely love it. Like the saying goes, you can't please everyone, but the rewards are extraordinary. Not just financial growth, but the ability to build a business with natural momentum, where customers become evangelists because you solved a problem they thought was unsolvable. I've distilled this entire framework into a practical competitive edge blueprint that guides you through identifying your unique only factor and crafting positioning that creates maximum contrast. It includes competitor analysis templates, customer research guides, and positioning frameworks we've refined through dozens of successful market entries. You can download it using the link in the description below. Remember, the goal is to become the only logical choice for a specific customer with a specific problem. Find your only factor, amplify it through contrast, and watch as competition becomes increasingly irrelevant to your success. If you enjoyed this video and you're not already subscribed, then please hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.